entrance. You making an entrance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freedom. Donamotion.com. Shut up. Freedom.
All in for life. SM till we die.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2.
Episode 2 of season 2.
Undocumented, we're here.
Yeah. As you can clearly, what you dropped?
What did you just drop?
The charger.
The charger. It's okay.
Okay, it's alright.
Okay, so we have 2 special guests with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
My name is Innocent.
Sam, free
And they are both from Ghana.
West Africa.
Shout outs, but they are not undocumented. They're actually citizens. You guys are citizens, right?
I'm a dual citizen. Dual citizen.
No, I'm thinking twice about it.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't want to be it anymore?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Number 45 got you a little bit turned up. Yeah, I feel you.
You called our country shithole.
That's facts. Let's not even just
Yeah,
let's not
this
get into
is not what the episode is about.
Alright, so today's episode we're talking about
Sex before the ring.
Ooh. Africans talking about sex.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
Your mother go punish you.
Oh my god. Okay, so basically just gonna cover how Africans have been taught about sex, deal with sex, handle sex before marriage, after marriage. Nobody here is married, so before marriage.
Yeah.
Before marriage, make sure.
So the first things first, has everybody in this place had sex before marriage? Is anybody a virgin waiting? What's going on?
Nah, I'm not a virgin.
I was like,
Interesting. Yeah, waiting.
Why were you lying to?
Are you lying or are you serious?
No. It's complicated.
We're not at that part of the yet.
Alright. Go ahead, Win.
I mean, you guys have watched, hopefully you've watched previous episodes and you should know that I did not wait.
Okay, and samesies.
Yeah.
Alright, so, before we get deep into it, let's toast. What are we toasting to?
What did we say?
Having good sex, whether you waited or not.
That was good. And this drink of the week is a sex of...
Come on, Sam!
Yeah.
Hey.
Acting up.
If you're waiting, join me in the bus.
Get out of here. Anyways, the drink of the week is sex on the beach, of course. Very fitting. I just Googled the recipe and followed it. And what do you think, guys? Is it good?
Oh, very
It's
good.
really good.
Yay!
We're on an island right now.
We're on an island.
Take a picture. Let me take a
We
picture.
are on an island.
Wow. This is why we have you here.
I told you.
Yes,
Come
love
with the gems.
I got you. I got your back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So so we're not virgins. Why did you not wait?
Sam, let's start with you.
For me, it was just like a spur of the moment thing, and I wasn't planning or anything, but right now I'm waiting to find the one though.
Okay.
Yeah, so it happens sporadically, but then now I kind of like thought about it, and I kind of want to wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Innocent, you?
Yeah, I think for me, everything happened in high school, so
Yeah.
very young.
Yeah.
I know what I was doing.
Bad boy.
How do you feel about it now? What's your stance on it? You want to wait too, or are you okay with having sex?
I'm okay with having sex.
All right, Win.
It wasn't a spur of the moment thing. I had been thinking about it, but the person that I, gave my virginity to, I guess I thought I loved him, I think. But so it was planned, and by this time my parents had already moved away, so I didn't feel that guilty.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Same. I spur of the moment. It wasn't even spur of the moment because my plan was always to wait till I got married. And then I thought I was in love with this person, and we were like, we're gonna get married, like idiot high schoolers. So it happened, and kept happening. But now I'm also in the space where it's kind of like I just want to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, just chill out.
Yeah. But if you were to marry someone, would you want to marry a virgin, or would you want to marry someone who's actually had sex?
Honestly, I don't really care for. I just care, like, I don't really care about somebody's past. I just want, like, their current and what they're working towards. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a virgin necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
I think same for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is not really a big deal. Okay, so what about if their body count is like 50 guys?
Well, first of all, what is your limit when it comes to body count? What is too high?
So honestly, I'd rather not know. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
I'd rather not know. So,
Really?
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, we all have past, and
Yeah.
you don't want to judge somebody over their past. As long as you're clean, no STDs,
Yeah.
I think we could build. And you're a changed person, and you show it, and we both
Yeah.
are on the same level.
Yeah.
Believe in God and put our trust in Him. You're good to go.
Okay.
Okay, preacher.
Hallelujah.
Same for me, but in addition, the sex has to be good. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you do it too much, it's just not too good again.
Yeah. Totally.
Some people do,
Yeah.
like, so one of my friends, his body count is like over 100 plus.
What?
Yeah.
Is he good? Did he get checked?
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
Tell him to get checked.
But he doesn't have
100 plus is
100
serious.
Yeah, and like the thing is though, he says now he has no emotional connection to sex. So
Yeah.
like having sex to him is kind of just an everyday thing. He was like he could have sex in the morning, afternoon, and evening with 3 different girls and it just would not.
Wow.
Anything
So
to him.
he needs to make love for him to feel connected to somebody.
I don't think he knows how to do
The
that.
difference.
Yeah, I don't think he
That's
knows
crazy.
the difference. He
That's
never
interesting.
started in a space where it was like, I love this person, I'm doing it out of love or whatever.
Wow.
I think it was just kind of like, I can get my rocks off. And he was just doing it. I don't think he's ever had like meaningful sex.
I think that's borderline addiction, though. Because
Probably. Is it addiction? Is it addiction if you have to? Or is
It's
it...
addiction if you have to do it. Like, but if you don't and you're just doing it just cause, then I don't think so. No? What do you think?
I think it gets more deep. So if you don't have that connection to like the feeling, because like a sense of like euphoria that comes out, and hormones get released, and people that want to get spiritual with it could go like deeper.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting all that euphoria again, then
Yeah.
gotta get it checked, bro.
I don't know. I don't think it's addiction. I think it's a problem.
Yeah.
I think you have a problem if you're just literally just connecting, and then you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wakes up in the morning like, man, I have to have sex today.
Oh, okay.
It's just readily available. It was just readily available and he was just readily having it. And now he's readily emotionless.
Well,
Damn.
get some counseling, man. Mental health counts. It's 2018, man. Mental health counts,
Yeah.
man.
That's
Oh my
intense.
gosh. Yeah, it's super intense. But as Africans, for me, I don't talk to my family about sex.
Oh, Chineke.
What about
It's like the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
No, for real though.
So do your parents probably still think y'all are virgins?
For me, I lost my parents, so
Oh, okay.
yeah. But when I was growing up, no sex, nothing.
Yeah.
No girls can visit me at my house.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm under curfew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to grab those books and study.
Yeah.
You know, they're more
Facts.
interested in those education stuff.
That's true.
Yeah. For me, it's not really talked about. I think my dad started like he brought it up sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
That's when like he asked me like, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I was like, "No." He's like,
Right,
"Wow."
because that comes before sex.
He was like, "Well, I see you're growing. So if you ever have a girlfriend and you want to talk about these things, you should let me know." I'm like, "You're really below. Like you're really. I'm ahead of the game."
Right. Talking about,
Cross
I
that
see her
path.
growing. Like I hit puberty in
Right.
like middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You wasn't like talking to me about it, and now you want to.
Yeah.
I think their main focus is education. Once you get to a certain point,
Yeah.
they kind of have comfortably to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So after college, when I went back to Ghana, my mom started asking me, "Who are you talking to? What are you
Yeah.
dating?" and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And that was the only first time she talked to me about relationship.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put it off because like in a kind there's like a saying that the child that knows how to wash their hands eats with like the elderly. So they want you to grow up to a certain extent to be a man or a woman before they can expose this secret to you. Which is like
Like
wrong,
as if the
like,
world is
totally
not happening
wrong.
around you.
right.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want it to happen that
No.
way.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't. My dad has never ever The only thing he ever says is on the phone. He'll call me. He'll be like, just know that you only have one body,
Right.
and to take care of it.
Right.
And there's a temple.
There's a temple. And I'm like, okay, Dad. And like before my mom passed away, it was like my birthday. She called and she was like, I was turning 24. And she was like, oh, Joan, you're turning 24. I was like, yeah. She's like, so you need to get married soon. I'm like, is this the conversation we're about to have? But yeah, none of my parents still don't mention it. I don't know if it's because my dad is a pastor. I don't know. Because,
I think that adds to it.
Yeah.
I think that adds to it. Because my dad is a pastor, so now, like, since I'm getting older, he still thinks I'm a virgin. So he always has, like, a sex talk with me. Then, like, whenever it comes to, not sex talk, a relationship talk with me. And then, like, every now and then he'll kind of throw in, because you like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you want to get married, but you don't know, you don't want to, like, waste it because, you only have one chance. So, like, that chance is gone, buddy.
It's just one.
Yeah, so.
But some people literally just get in those situations so they can have sex. And I feel like that's another thing.
What, get?
Like, in certain, like, marriages or situations, just so they can have sex, and that's it. They love the person and they care about them.
They've waited so long.
Yeah.
For the urge, man.
So it's like, we've been together 1 year, let's get married. It's like,
I want to experience it.
Yeah, I'm like, yo.
And then the marriage is like 2 months later.
Yeah, and it's not healthy,
Yeah.
because that's what I've seen sometimes in African relationships, is that, like, this is not the healthiest situation.
Yeah.
And I think they were just trying to do the right things, and it just made sense. And our generation's a little bit different, because we think a little bit differently. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. I like this person, but what else? Like, other than their body, sex, and all this, like, how am I going to be able to spend my life with this person?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
I think the huge thing, like, in African culture that I see, like, reproduction is a huge thing. Like, it's a huge thing. So it's like, that's why people get married so young, and then they start having babies, and then, like, go through the same cycle. But because, like, sex is a spiritual thing, they want to make sure that you're married first. So it's like, sacred, with just like one person. And that's what I've noticed with my dad too. He's like, your clock is ticking. Like, get married so you can have sex. So I have babies.
I actually remember in school. So I went to school in Ghana. I went up to middle school, and I think in like JSS2 or something, they talked to you about adolescence, like where you hit puberty, and they talked about like menstruation for the girls, and then guys, like the growth of like pubic hair and all this cool stuff. And during that time in church, there's a thing called confirmation. If you go to like Presbyterian or Methodist, and during that time they tell you to consecrate yourself to God. So during that time, my grandmother gave me a book called Keeping It for Marriage. And in church, they will give counseling to kids.
Oh wow!
To keep their virginity, and they give them cards
to sign, like a pledge. Oh, okay.
Like a pledge, and then they help you, guide you through virginity to marriage. And for some people, it was phenomenal. But I don't know about others, because I don't know the people that got it. I don't know the result. But actually, I had those books. Yeah. And I was about to go through the process before I moved here, and never did.
Then you got corrupted.
Do you think you would have? Do you think it would have been different though? If you would have went through all that and made that pledge and felt like.
I mean, for me, like the way sex was put was like, it was really bad, like before like God, and it was like if you did it, you were gonna get punished. So I still had that fear in me. So I didn't end up having sex till I was really old compared to like my other peers. But it was that fear that was put in me. And it was just me learning and exploring that. It's like, oh,
it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Right, yeah.
It's how you think about it.
It's like no lightning came down.
Right.
It's like, I actually had a great time.
Yeah, actually. Matter of fact.
Yeah, it's just you and God, really.
Basically,
so.
it's your personal convictions.
Right.
What would you tell your kids? Like, seeing how you were raised or how it was taught to you, what would you do differently with your kids whenever they do come?
Ooh, that's tricky.
That's deep.
I think I'm always just going to enforce the same thing, education first.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to force them into education. That's how I force into education.
Yeah.
But whatever they want to do, after you attain to a certain height in life, I can always have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
For me, I'll definitely start having the conversations about reproductive health, like you said earlier, and also let them know what's outside and not let them go experience it from their friends or their peers, because they might not share the dangers associated with it.
Right.
And also not scare them and make it like this really obscure thing where they can't just go and do it. So I definitely start having the conversation as soon as I think they can comprehend. And then if they have questions or even if they're scared, they can come to me instead of going to somebody else.
Yeah. No, I agree. So my sister has 2 kids by like one guy, so she's married and he's basically their stepdad. Yeah. But he's like really open and honest because my nephew, he's 13 or 14, and like when he was like 9, he had like a wallpaper of this model that has like, it was like a wet white shirt, it's like beautiful out. And so he was like, why do you have this on your phone? Like and so my nephew, he used to get nervous, and when he's nervous, he cries. So he started crying, like he didn't want to talk about it. But he was like it's okay if we talk about it. I'd much rather you come talk to me about it. I want to let you know that if you're interested in girls, it's okay. But this is what happens if you do have sex. You can have babies. This is what comes with it, and just open and honest about it. And what he's told me, he was like, actually, like, my nephew will go up to him and talk to him about certain things. He's still a little sneaky, but he feels comfortable because he started talking to him about it and didn't make it like such a taboo subject, you know, and let him make a decision for himself, you know. And then they're also like involved in church and stuff, so it's like you know, you have your own journey with God, and you know will suffer your own consequences from your actions. So I would go that route too. Have it open and honest.
I think being honest is important because I think if I would have had those conversations with my parents or like people earlier on, I wouldn't have done half dealt with half the people I dealt with, or I probably would still like be a virgin just because like I know, like, understanding yourself. I think those conversations, especially with your parents and people who care about you, help you understand yourself a little bit better. And so like now I understand myself and I know, okay, I'm a very physical person. I like touch. So if I put myself in those places, I don't retreat. I'm gonna be like, this is great, I'm fine. And so having those conversations, understanding like those things, and it's like, okay, if you want to like protect yourself, this is how you do that. And I just think, especially with our faith, it's just really tough because it's always saying it was bad, and then all of a sudden one day a preacher was preaching, they were like, it's a gift from God. I'm like, which one is it? It's like, is it bad or is it great? It's all, let me go find out.
After marriage.
That's a twist. Which is one they always emphasize though, but like, I wish they wouldn't make it such a taboo subject. Right. And just tell the parents, like, go home and talk to your kids about it. Like, it's okay to talk about it. Because kids are curious. Yeah. So if you make something taboo and like you tell me the fire is hot, I want to find out for myself. Yeah,
I'll burn myself.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm gonna burn myself a couple of times.
Yeah. You talk about it. You get close enough to the fire. You feel that warmth. You get any closer, it's gonna burn you. So yeah.
Was there guilt the first time that you guys ever did it? Like, did you feel like really guilty?
I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Same.
I did not.
I did not.
I mean, it was a weird feeling, but I did not regret it.
Yeah. Really? So is that why you feel comfortable just like keep doing it over and over again, or?
Well, I mean, if you say keep doing it, I don't have sex indiscriminately.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I just don't support the idea. If I meet you as a girl, I don't support the idea of you telling me, let's wait before sex. Period.
Let's wait before marriage.
Yeah, let's wait before marriage.
Oh, so you don't want to?
I would not encourage that in a relationship. I have reasons.
Why? What's the reason?
Oh my goodness.
What's the reason?
This is why we're here.
Okay, well, most of the time that is always a topic of females. They always bring that sex, like let's get married. Before we have sex. Actually. I mean, some guys do. Some religious guys, they do it. I mean, they have good reasons behind it. Yeah. But for me, it's two things. Yeah. Probably this is a female who have been through a lot. Yeah. 2, 3, 4 guys, and like, oh no, the next guy, you probably have to be serious with me. Yeah. Sex before marriage, and they bring it up. Most of the time, you scare a guy away if it's not really for you. But sometimes some girls say it like that just to see how you're gonna react. 2, 3, 4 months, they're gonna give it out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And number 2 is females who have never done it before. They are virgins. They don't know what to experience. They are hearing from their friends, their relationship. They say, okay, well, I'm waiting for marriage. But I don't really encourage that, you know.
So,
I would have to agree with Innocent on this because I'm the type of person like.
Agree on the same side.
No, because like, I like sex, and I also like good sex.
Yeah.
And the whole waiting before marriage thing, well, that was completely out the window. So I'm like, okay, now I'm in this lane. Yeah. And I'd much rather have somebody that I've experienced it with like before I get into like a commitment with you.
So like test driving.
Just a test drive to see if this is something that like, because like sexual attraction is important in relationships. It's not the most important, but it's necessary for a romantic relationship.
Right.
So like I would want to know like what I'm getting into bed with literally before I commit to it.
Do you believe in teaching people how to love you?
I do.
I was going to say that.
I do, but then some people just cannot get
it. Some people bring the Holy Ghost to the bed.
What that mean?
It means there are certain things they don't believe as Christians they'll have to do. Probably they can go down and probably lick you and sack you or any sort of thing like that. But probably you did that. You did that in college. You love with the guy who did that for you. Love you so much.
Yeah.
Now that guy disappointed you. You move to the next one with no sex before marriage. And after marrying that guy can do stuff for you.
Yeah.
You stuck in the marriage.
That's fast.
Damn, this
okay.
Undocumented after dark.
okay.
I mean, I'm just being real.
No, that's real. That's
real.
real. But I think, okay, so this is my stance on it. As a person who borderline agrees, it's like I don't want to on my wedding night be like, okay, it's lit. We waited our whole relationship, whatever, and then bada boom, bada bang, it happens, and I'm sitting in my bed like.
That was trash.
That was trash.
This was supposed to be the best night of my life.
I'm supposed to be like great, but I think if you communicate, even waiting doesn't constitute not talking about it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are like, since we're waiting, because talking about it sometimes can lead to. Go ahead, take your jacket off. Man's is hot.
You said man's hot. Yeah, your little armpit is
But like, if because I think sometimes when people talk about it, it also like drums up some feelings. And so you're like, well, we're talking about it. Let's just get jacket. But I think you can talk about it, tell the person what you like, tell them what you expect, communicate like what you want. And I think those conversations let you know like, oh, so you're not willing to do that at all? Well, boom, like that's something that I require.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to be a line in the sand or whatever. Okay. I think conversations can happen without actually
doing it.
Yeah, but people use it as a punishment. Yeah. Like if no sex before marriage. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna rethink about it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
If the guy is sexual active, I mean, you doing that to him. Yeah. Probably he's doing somewhere else and being with you. I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But sometimes people need temptations too, though.
Why do you say that?
What do you mean?
Because like sometimes people that don't want to wait normally would just like not have the patience. So like if you're not giving it to them, they feel like they could go to somebody else. I think the act of waiting could be used by a certain woman to actually test if a guy is actually committed.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if you meet a guy who is always like, where the girls are, probably he's going to run away from you.
Exactly.
That guy's not ready for anything, you know. He just wants something and you scare.
Yeah.
Most of the time, girls use this to scare guys away a lot, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I think they also want to make sure that the intentions are clear. Yeah. Like sometimes, especially with women or women who are like really emotionally connected to sex, the act of it can be cloudy. Like it can cloud your judgment and it can make you feel a certain way about that person that probably doesn't exist. And so giving yourself the space to still have that tension and still have that attraction, that desire, but could clearly understand this person, know how they deal with certain things. Because sometimes, like, if I'm mad about something and the person just puts me in a space where it's like, okay, we're about to have sex, it's like, well, I'm not mad anymore, but this is a legit thing to be mad about.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, like, I want to talk about this, but now you're not letting me. And so I think people who use it as a weapon and as a punishment, I think that's inappropriate. That's not what it's meant for. Yeah. But waiting and, like, understanding the person beyond sex, I think makes sex even better.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree on that too.
But I mean, you can still try it out and you can still, make sure.
Which is good. Well, go ahead.
You don't have to have sex at early stage of a relationship.
Right.
Wait 3, 4, 5 months and see how it's going. And you can, don't just use it as like, hey, you have to get married to me before you have sex with me.
Yeah.
That's not
so
good.
you would just never deal with someone who said that?
Well, I mean, the last girl I met,
Yeah.
She said no sex before marriage, but I see beyond the sex.
Okay.
So I was still
she has
there.
to hold
It's
your
deeper
interest,
than
yeah.
that. Yeah. It's
What?
not even about the sex.
Are you guys still together?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're still comfortable waiting?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's sometimes it's beyond the sex when you meet the guy. I was at the point where I just want to move on and be with somebody serious. I'm not joking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when you're telling me no sex before marriage, fly to Ghana to see you, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, in the same way. So
Long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys, stick around, man. 4 or 5 months, stick around. You're gonna get it.
What is
That is not the point of the conversation.
Whoa, you gonna get wet.
Wow, oh man, don't run away, dude.
Wait. Okay, so what does waiting look like? Are you guys just kissing and like touching a little bit? Is oral sex waiting? Because some people consider oral sex not real sex.
Right,
It's not
it's like-
penetration.
No, I thought I said I'm not waiting.
No, I'm saying
Now for you, like
no, for you, like
what during the 5 months period before it actually happens, are you like kissing them, touching them?
No, it was a long distance, so
what if they were here close
Yeah,
by?
what if
What
they
would
were,
what would how far?
Then you probably would have had sex.
I've not experienced it, so
Okay, so Sam, for you, what would be your threshold where like you can't go past this?
If the
one
girl's waiting or if you
if you're
thing?
waiting,
Yeah, if you're waiting.
and the girl is waiting.
I'm definitely not gonna be kissing or touching you because
Kissing?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. If you both decide we're waiting,
Wait.
You can't kiss the person?
Okay. All right. So boom.
Is it that hard for you? Is that why, or is it just like you don't want to put yourself
just there's different types of kisses.
Right.
So just a tap kiss, like that's cool. But
Yeah.
like kissing, like making
Like
out,
making out.
that will lead to something else.
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't have to.
it doesn't, but
Oh,
most
man.
times it does.
So you
tough.
would terrify.
tough to resist.
Sometimes it does.
Tough to resist.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would not like.
Wow,
what if the
that's-
girl pulled away and like was disciplined enough to be like, okay, let's pull back?
Yeah.
Would you just be like, nah, f that, let's keep going?
No means no. Consent
Yeah.
really matters. So, yeah, if they say no,
That matters.
consent really matters. So if they
course,
said no,
yeah.
I'll definitely pull back. But,
Yeah, if the girl said no, what can you do?
right.
Yeah.
But if you know the girl really well and you know like your emotional thresholds, you're gonna be like, hey, let's not even start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like get to the next level,
Wow.
first, second, and third base, and then all of that. So
So
I'd rather
let-
not, honestly.
So let's say you meet somebody, you start talking to them,
Mm-hmm.
and like you're like a year in, and you're like, okay, I could see something happening with this person. How long are you willing to wait without kissing, touching, doing anything with this person before you'd have to get married? Because kissing is, I can't. I'm not. If I was to do the whole abstinence thing,
Yeah.
I have to kiss you.
Yeah. So like I was saying, it has to be a mutual agreement
Okay.
Yeah.
between us that hey,
Okay.
if we kiss,
Yeah.
we're gonna hold each other accountable as accountability bodies. So that
Yeah.
we're not gonna go to
Okay.
second base or third base.
Okay.
So if you have that agreement, I don't mind kissing because
Yeah.
you're gonna hold me accountable. If my feelings step in, you're gonna be like, huh,
Simmer down.
That's what's gonna
chill,
happen.
or like put a pause on it, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same for you. So in that case, then I know like you got me and I got you, sort of thing. Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough.
Okay, so what about you? Are you in a relationship right now?
Nah, I'm not.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Winnie?
Me? No, I am not.
Okay, so what if you met somebody who was waiting and you were cool with being with them? You saw beyond the wait.
Wow.
What does
I don't know.
What does waiting look like for you?
Ooh, not too long, bro. Not
Yeah.
long.
I mean, why the wait? Why do you have to wait?
Well, no, because some people like it's beyond sex, right?
Right.
They
Yeah.
want to get to know somebody on a like an intimate, like a personal
Level.
like just not regular shit. Where sex can cloud that, you know, like Joan said, like you can make up shit about somebody just because y'all had sex, or he touched you a certain, like, oh my god,
You can get dickmatized.
right?
Or-
Or like
Pussy
these.
whip.
Yeah, it's rude.
Yeah, or these
Yeah.
stereotypes like, oh, if he kisses you on the forehead, then that means he really loves you.
Oh,
Like,
he's gonna take out your brain.
Take
That's what
all
that
the
means.
sense,
He's
yeah.
gonna take
All
all
the
the sense from your
common
head.
like, so shit like that, like I don't know, but then it's like it depends on the situation too. If I really like this person, I would respect it, but I'll have to, I don't know.
So
I
what
don't
is
know.
so you would kiss them?
Yes.
Would you?
I would try it.
You would try it all
Yeah.
the time.
not all the time. I would respect that. Like if it gets to a point where like he puts his foot down, like listen, I can't let you do this because I'm really working on this part. I will do my best to respect it.
Wow, a guy saying that must be a good one.
You must be
Hey, there's guys like that out there.
Yeah,
I know, but
You're a good guy. You just want to have sex.
Yeah, I would respect it. It would, but sex is not like a deal breaker for me too, because I don't just look for that in people.
Unless it's bad sex.
Unless it's bad sex, that's a huge deal breaker.
But bad sex, and you can teach someone.
That was what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So
have you ever had to do that?
To teach somebody? Yeah. I have.
And has it ended up well?
No, it has not.
Okay.
yeah, sometimes people just don't believe in certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even believe, just cannot perform
Exactly.
well. So it was just.
So imagine you waiting to get married to such a guy. What you gonna do for the rest of your life?
Oh God.
That becomes the biggest question.
I think they have sex coaches, so.
Yeah, but I think
I just don't understand.
But I think though, if you're deep in a relationship and you really love somebody, you understand things about them and you're attracted to them in a different way that's not sexual, that can develop into something sexual.
So their touch is like, so my feeling is this, like sometimes when any person touches you, it's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, this person touched me on my arm. But if you're like really physically attracted to someone
and then like they touch you,
and they touch you or they do certain things, you're just kind of like,
yeah. No, seriously, like
Interesting.
But because I'm a physical touch person too. Like that's my number one love language. And so like I've been in this state where I really like somebody, and like he just held my hand, and I was just like. Like I was tripping, like I was really giddy and I was really happy. So it's like simple stuff like that. So I think it can develop. It'll just be really difficult.
Yeah, I think like even if it's not like, you know what, that's a lie. Sometimes people are just terrible. But I think if you're really in love with someone and attracted to them and say they don't perform well, I think just because that simple like magnetic attraction, if your mindset is like, okay, don't get pissed off or turned off by the fact that this is just not ideal.
Right.
Just tell them. And this kind of sometimes intimidating because sometimes when you tell a guy like, okay, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Could you do like this? But like, well, when he was dealing with this guy who like checked in like after and he was like, so what can I do better? Like, what can I do? And it's like, well, dang, if that's the questions being asked, like, this will never be bad.
But no, but see, like whenever that situation started, it was like open and honest from the get.
Yeah.
Like from the get, like anything, like don't feel bad if you feel like you need to talk about something. Like I'm an open book, and it was that exchange where I felt comfortable enough to say like, hey, like maybe. You shouldn't have like stayed down there an extra 10 minutes and bit me, or just just like stuff like that. It's like, okay, cool. I'll take note of that. I think you can, whenever you're getting to know somebody, when the sex is not involved, you kind of create an atmosphere where hopefully you can create an atmosphere where you can talk to somebody like open and freely.
Yeah.
And then you can understand like how you receive information. I can't just say, Joan, that shit sucked.
Right.
You need to do this. Or it's like, Joan, like, maybe you should, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then they should be receptive to that. So I think that is possible.
Yeah. Okay, so question. So Innocent, you're in a space right now where you can look beyond the wait for a certain length of time. What is do you have like a space where you're comfortable, or is it like you just know, okay, this is the person that I want to end up with? Yeah. Or is it a time frame like, okay, we've been together for this long, it just makes sense? Like kind of what's your thought process behind it?
For me, most of my relationships are long distance. After college, when I went to grad school, I was doing long distance. I don't see her, we talk on the phone. Probably when I go to Ghana, that's when 2-3 weeks we have time and I fly back, So I don't really know like a specific wait time. But at the time I got out of college to be in a relationship again after high school in Ghana, I was doing so many stuff that can't even get me a girlfriend. You know what I mean? I just got to keep it 100. I'm telling you. Hey, keep it 100. Selling after high school, trying to chase my dreams, selling pure water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I flew back. Sachets water, bottled water.
Oh yeah.
In Ghana, they're on the street.
Word. Okay,
I was on top of a car. I'm like a sales guy.
Yeah. You were busy.
So,
Damn.
yeah, and then I got to the US. So after
Hustling.
college, before I started dating again, and it was long distance.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was able to help me not to talk on the phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't really know the wait time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're cool with long distance?
No.
No.
It's not a good thing.
It's
No,
hard,
it's
right?
not.
I bet.
I think
It's not a good
I
thing.
couldn't do it.
I think I've
That's why
decided that I'm
2018
done.
is a new resolution, new year.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
done with long distance unless the
Really?
person is like someone that I'm like, okay, are you
man.
serious? Like, yeah, because almost all my relationships have ended up being long distance. We've started in the same city, and then for some reason or not, we're not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just enjoy being around the person that I'm with
Sure.
and just having fun.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm also not one of those people that want to be always under you. Like, I don't have to see you every single day, but I want to know you're around, and I
Yeah.
can come see you, and I can kick it. But long distance is
I fall in that boat too.
Really?
Yeah, it's
you
just
can't do
tough.
long distance. Could you do a long distance where you see each other like twice a month?
Twice a month. Yeah, that's
better.
reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like for me to do before I can do long distance, I have to be with the person for maybe like a couple months or maybe
Yeah.
a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure,
I
for
know
sure.
like I know them and I know
Yeah.
it's going somewhere, and wherever they at, like we could both go on with our lives and then
yeah.
be
Still
happy we're
relate.
not seeing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first ex, like we started talking and hanging out, and it was maybe like a couple months, like maybe 6 to like 7 months, but we weren't together, and then we decided to get together like after he moved away, and then we were in a relationship for like 3 years, like total. But then I was like looking back, so I'm okay with long distance, really, because I like my space, but I'm also okay with being around somebody. I just need to know that I can leave for a couple hours.
Times, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Times.
but so I noticed that there was like this one, like in the 2-year span, I only see him like 4 times. And so I was like, dang, like I think that also played a toll in like how like our relationship ended up, because not being able to see him and on top of like the other things that I needed in a relationship
Yeah.
added to that. So I think it'll depend. Like
Yeah.
you guys said, like you can do 2 like twice a month. That's doable. But like
What I do like about long distance, though, it teaches you a lot about that person.
yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
It teaches you about like their intentions
and priorities.
because like for me, when I've been in long distance relationships, I made it a point to plan my months. So they'll be like, okay, so I'll be here, this, and this, and I'll let them know, like, I'll be there then, and then. And like, I want you to know that you're important enough to me, so I'm going to plan you into my life.
Yeah.
And then for me, sometimes for certain one of them, I'm like, you're not taking the amount of time to plan me into your life the way I'm planning you into my life.
So I kind of fell short in that because I'm a bad planner. Like I can't like always keep up with like the dates or like the flights. So like I was dating this girl a couple of months ago, maybe, and
What's her name? Just kidding, go ahead.
that's for another time. So like I'll go see her. She come see me, and sometimes I just lost track of time, and I talked to her on FaceTime. So I got so used to that that I didn't really think about going to see her.
Yeah.
And I thought it was okay, but you know, being like a guy,
Yes.
and she was like really upset, and she didn't say anything about it. So when I found out, it was kind of too late. So
Yeah.
that kind of like messed things up, and now we don't even like we're not friends anymore.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Well, that is not completely your fault, because I can't be mad at you for doing something when I haven't told you that it bothers me.
Right.
So if for her to like be in a relationship with you for however long it was, like 2 or 3 months, it's like, damn, this nigga still
not
FaceTime
say anything.
and not say anything. He's like, hey, I would much rather appreciate if you come or try to make an effort to see me.
Right.
Or,
Did she
do
say
that.
that?
I mean, she did say it.
okay, niggas.
And honestly, like the dates that she would say probably didn't work for me. And I was like, she always take the initiative and plan.
Okay.
And I'll say, hey, this date works, this
Yeah.
doesn't. So I got so comfortable. And in her defense, I should have done more.
Yeah.
In terms of like planning something on my own, going
Yeah.
to see her too.
Yeah.
Because the effort was maybe unbalanced in that way. So
Well, that's good that you
Yeah.
can recognize that. Though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, and that's what relationships are. Like, you're not going to be in a perfect relationship the first go around.
That's why communication is so important.
Yeah.
And I think from both sides, like letting people know, not even just on the sex end of things, but like, especially coming into something new, it's like from the jump, I would feel comfortable telling someone, like, by the way, like, I do enjoy, like, you know, hanging out and touch and all these different things, but I'm not going to sleep with you.
Right.
Like, because I just don't know who you are. Like, I don't know this. So, you know, if you're not comfortable not having sex off the gate, I'm probably not the person for you.
Yeah.
and this is just like kind of like still trying to get to know each other.
Yeah.
So if that you couldn't get to see each other and like plan stuff well, then why get in a relationship?
Yeah,
right.
I think people just need to let their intentions be known.
Yeah.
Like about everything. Like what you're looking for in sex, in the relationship, in life, in everything. It's like, hey, this is what I am.
Yeah.
Titles.
Yeah.
Right.
Are titles that important?
To some people, yeah. To some
I think
people, yeah.
I think titles are important in the sense of like, I need you to communicate to me where we stand.
Yeah.
And not in the sense of like, oh, you're my girlfriend, you're my whatever the heck it is. It's just kind of like, hey, you're the only person I'm dating, you're the only person I'm talking to.
Right.
Or, hey, I want to talk to you, but I am also talking to other people. Or, hey, this is this. Like, just be clear about everything, because I think sometimes people are scared that if they're too open and honest, that the other person will be like, well, that's not for me. But you need to give people that space to like also openly communicate and tell you where they are.
Yeah. I think people just like titles because it's like confirmation and basically like, okay, if you call me your girlfriend, I know that I'm the only person that's in your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But is that true?
It's not.
The ladies who always ask, who are we?
Right.
Yeah, who are we? What are we? What are we doing?
Yeah,
no,
like,
what are we doing is an important question though. It's like, what are we doing?
Who are we?
But we had I'll let you finish that. But like we had our friend like come over and she introduced her like new boo thing to us, and she's African too. And so like Tiffany like put her on the spot, and she was kind of like, so what are you guys? You know, like what's going on? She had told her before like what they are, but she just wanted to see like the interaction and stuff. So the guy was really into like titles, like I want you to meet my family, whatever. Like it's like serious, like you're my girlfriend, right? To him, and she's kind of like, titles are a huge thing in the African culture because it's like if I call you my boyfriend, the next step is marriage. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My dad is going to be checking up on
exactly.
me.
People still ask about my ex.
So for her, titles are something that she can't just like throw loosely out there because she doesn't know. Right. And so I could tell he was just a little bit like kind of like, Mel, I know what I want type of thing. She's like, well, I do too, but I just like to take things slow. She's like, it's different in African cultures.
Made things a little awkward.
Just a little, definitely. But I mean, it was a conversation that needed to be had because I'm pretty sure they're going to face that same question like in another group setting or with family and stuff.
Most definitely.
But yeah, go ahead. What are we doing? What was the?
No, I was saying that question is like, oh, what are we doing? I think it's important.
I mean, I think it depends on the moment you ask it. Some girls will like wait, and then like maybe like you're on a date or like you're like watching a movie, and then out of the blue, like it's like, what are we?
But like, can we get to the plot twist?
Right.
So to some guys, they're like, whoa, slow your roll there, because to some guys, what are we equals to? I want a relationship, honestly. So
maybe in addition to what are we? Well, because I think what we've seen like in movies or like TV shows and stuff, whenever somebody asks what are we, it's like, you're the everything. Right, are you? You know what I'm saying? There's no follow up to that.
There has to be. I think we as women or as men, if you want to ask that question, need to be well rounded about the way we ask things. It needs to be, instead of saying what are we, it has to be like, yo, I really like you.
Right.
This has been a lot of fun.
Right.
And I was like thinking about seeing other people, but now I'd rather just really want to see you, and I want to know where you stand.
Right.
I like that. Clap for hand.
Communication, guys. It's simple.
Effective communication, and I think that gives them the comfort to be like, oh.
Well, I was talking to this one bitch, but I don't really like her like that.
So I guess it's just you.
Yeah.
All right. So
we have 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, all right. So if you had to give a synopsis, like a final like a piece of advice, or kind of like where you stand about sex, especially to Africans and how we like deal with it in our culture, what would you say? Like,
okay. If you are in a relationship, give yourself some time, but don't wait after marriage before you have sex. At least try to experience it at some point in the relationship.
Okay.
So you know what you're getting into. Period.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
Okay.
I'll say the conversation definitely needs to start from the home. Charity begins at home, and then also in the church, because if you're religious, church is really big in the African community. So I think youth pastors, youth leaders should start like talking about the complexities of sex.
Yeah.
And let like adolescents or kids of age that understand and have the logic to go out and experiment. Know like the ins and the outs, so they can make the decisions by themselves. And also now like make it a life and death thing. Like just tell them, hey, so it's real. Like the choice is yours. And if people wanna go with the waiting, help them, give them the resources and encourage them. But people that are gonna participate, show them the safety nets they have to take to not get any STDs.
And the grace.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have to agree.
Same.
I just think people are going to take two different routes. Some people are going to wait, some people are not.
Yeah.
And especially as a community, we don't deal with a lot of things well. From mental health to sex to a lot of different things. And the number one gift we can give the people or the younger people coming after us is open and honest communication. And a feeling of like you're welcome no matter what decision you've made.
Right.
You know, like I have no space to judge you if you decided to wait or to not to wait. But here's how I can help you in that space. So that's important.
Yeah, I have to echo you guys too. And then also with that, having like some people in the community that are like mentors, people that have gone what's it called?
The waiting
waiting route, and just like putting people in place where they can check in on people. I mean, it sounds like it's a huge thing because there's not a lot of people that are willing to do it. But I think it's important because if I had somebody like in my life that I felt comfortable enough to talk to about certain things, I felt like like you said, you would have made like different decisions about certain things. So I think having like mentors in place or creating like environments where people are comfortable to just kind of come and talk about it.
Yeah, and I wanted to shout you guys out. Like, taking the initiative now, like people talk about problems about Africa, all of that, but they don't really present solutions. So I think platforms like Undocumented and other ones are really good.
Yeah, I'll be back again.
That's gonna be awesome. We'll do one when we're in Ghana.
Yeah, Africans solving African problems.
Hey, listen, because 45 ain't trying to solve them. Which leads us into World Recap. Okay, so World Recap, we're going to talk about some things going on in the world, recent world events. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about? Anything that's happened that you've seen?
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world.
Oh gosh, stuff. Your heart sounds so heavy.
Yeah, I was an international affairs major, so I keep up with like politics, business, all of that.
Yeah.
What's really caught your attention recently?
Yeah.
Oh my God, American politics is a disaster, as we all know.
Yeah.
But the government shutdown happened, so that is really huge. And my prayer is that as we are on Undocumented, that Republicans and Democrats both come together and save DACA, because it's really important for our families, our friends, and our loved ones.
Yeah.
So I'm just praying they actually do keep it, and also extend other opportunities to immigrants that don't have the same chances as we did.
Yeah. I would have to agree with that one. The shutdown was huge. I'm low-key glad it did shut down, because beforehand they were talking about doing that temporary spending bill that would just keep it open for a couple of weeks or days. But this kind of forces the hand where it's like you have to decide. You have to decide right now. But yeah, I think that's the biggest news. I mean, other than Trump calling Africans and Haitians and already shithole countries, I just I don't even know. Like, you can't really get past him. I really wish we could always get past him in the news, but you can't get past him.
He trumps himself every time.
Oh yeah, that's a good bro.
You're so good. Oh gosh. So what can we do? Like what kind of solution? So last season we always talked about the World Recap, and we'd always present the issue or whatever, but we never presented a solution. And so when it comes to something like the government shutdown, what can people do in the future to make sure that these things don't happen?
Right.
I mean, other than voting to make sure that Trump never becomes president and people like him, what can we do to make sure that these things don't keep repeating themselves? How can we ensure that our Congress, our legislative branch, actually does their job and is not so beholden to their party versus beholden to the people?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's a matter of activism. I'm really pro-activism, and if I see there's a protest or a rally being organized in favor of something I believe in, I'll definitely step out there. And people don't know like ways to go about it, but you could literally like sit in your room, go on your Instagram, post something to just share it so that somebody else could go sign a petition or take some actions, because we live in a digital world. So you could just pick up the phone, call your congressman, and the more pressure we put on them, the more they react towards like a favor or whatever.
Yeah, especially the young people. Like they take us seriously, and you may not believe it, but they take you seriously because you're going to be voting for a longer time than the older people. They're going to die soon, and it's going to be you. So if young people are calling and if they're pushing and they're signing petitions, then it's like, okay, these are going to be my voters for the next time that I'm up. I need to make sure that I am actually doing what they want, versus what my party says is important. But yeah. Do you have a positive one, Winnie, for this year? Or for this?
For World Recap?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I do.
No.
No, that's not positive. Never mind.
Okay.
I have an update.
What?
Let's see here.
I have an update from, I don't know which episode it was when I was talking, the huge Ugandan parliament fight, when they were fighting over them trying to pass a law to like
keep the president
to raise the age limit, and they passed it.
So he's still president?
He's president till for another 5 years, I think. And
that's a long time.
Okay. Exactly, and by that time he would have been when he leaves, he'll be over the age limit.
So what makes him stopping him from passing another law?
No, he passed it.
No, another one to be more for 5 years, after 5 years.
Oh no, he can.
Yeah.
So they removed the age limit to run for president. So he's probably gonna run again for another term.
Oh my goodness.
So that's not positive, but it's an update.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as like I want to give a shout out to a lot of African young people and like Innocent and Sam who are really passionate who are really passionate about where we're from and are really like dedicated to providing business opportunities and spaces where young Africans and just Africans period can grow and we can develop as a country. But it's even more important now more than ever that we keep going back, because if anything has been a symbol or representation that this is not for us. We need to go back and do in a space where we belong. Because I think a lot of people back home look here as like the beacon when in reality it's not.
And one really good thing I want to bring up is also to invite our African American, Latino, people of African descent to not feel like it's just like a African thing. Because Marcus Garvey, love that guy, once said that if we all came together collectively to build like Africa or the continent and actually claim the identity as Africans, we're going to be one of the strongest people. So if you're African American, Latino, Latina, go somewhere, go back to where you're from and help build it and bring that identity, and let's all stick together, because that's the only way we're gonna
improve. And that's why they call us a shithole country, because they say that we want to leave so bad. So what's so great about it? And it's like, well, what's so great about it is we give you all your resources, you asshole.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's it. End of World Recap.
Africans winning.
Africans always winning. This melanin will always provide.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, no, you said end of World Recap.
All right, so songs of the week, we're still not gonna play them just because
YouTube is hating.
YouTube really hates us,
and because of that stupid ass white boy, they're like really dumbed down on their
policies
and stuff.
Oh, the one that filmed the suicide.
Dumbass. But
did you see that?
I didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch the video, but I couldn't believe that he did that.
But and I think he started on Vine, and like when he started, it was like funny because it was just like random people. But then he started getting obnoxious, and then he started going to different cultures and like basically insulting the people. And it was so disrespectful. Like,
so he went to Japan. I don't know. Like he went to Japan, but he did a video before he went to that suicide forest or whatever, where he was like running around Japan
like in a woman's kimono,
and then he had like a Pokemon ball, and he would throw it at people and be like, "I choose you," and throw throw it at them. And then he's like, and in all his videos, he'd always say, Japan is really big on respect. We're really big on respect. And then he'll take a raw fish and just be like, putting it in people's faces, jumping on people's cars.
So he's contradicting people's cultural values.
Yeah, he was like literally making fun of it. He didn't care about it.
And this dude has like millions of followers. It's nuts. Like he has so many followers on YouTube.
And then he went to Suicide Forest. And on the Suicide Forest is literally like, there's like signs as you're walking, and it's like, if you're really considering doing this, please call this number.
Right.
Please think about your family and your kids. Like, people go to this forest just to kill themselves. And so he went to the forest because he claimed they were gonna film a suicide episode and say like, don't do it or whatever. And
that's what he claimed.
That's what he claimed. And then they were walking and they went off the trail and they found somebody who had just committed suicide. And so not only do they put this guy on camera, they're like making jokes and like cracking up about how we can't believe we actually came in here and we saw somebody. And it's just kind of like, you're getting millions of views. You're making money off of this video and you're putting somebody's dead body. Like, their family probably found out about it on your video before they had the opportunity to
disrespect.
To like,
sounds bizarre. It's like,
it's just like,
but you know what's crazy though?
white people in.
White people in. And that's the reason why he has millions of followers. It's the reason why Trump has supporters. Like,
it's like these people are encourage that.
Yeah, people encourage it. And like, if he keeps getting views and watch, even like people are talking about it like this, like he's still getting like airplay.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so
I think the best way is for YouTube to have some sort of like maybe AI to
monitor.
So they really cracked down. I think they deleted his account or like suspended him from like YouTube and stuff. But they're cracking down on the people now, and then also like people that are that have like paid subscriptions. You have to make sure you have like a certain amount of hours played and do all this stuff before they like cut you off and stuff. So
therefore us playing these songs that have copyrights are just
not
terrible.
But we'll put them
on our playlist on Spotify, so you can check out our playlist.
And we'll still go out to one song because it's not that bad disputing one song, but we really disputed like four songs every single episode.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How long is the process?
It's like a day or two.
Yeah, but it was one that we did, which is our longest episode, which you had to edit, and there were like, it was like a couple of songs on that one, so we had to like re-edit the
whole episode,
re-upload it, and all that stuff, and it takes like 2 hours to save and like 2 hours to upload because they're so big. So anyways.
All right, so that's it. So, I can tell my song of the week.
I already know what it is.
Drake.
Yes, it came with the heat.
God's Plan. I told Winnie this in the car. Drake is the only person whose like songs can be toast for your whole life.
Right.
Like, every time I give a toast to a shot,
let that thinking.
It's more life. And now it's God's Plan. Think about that. Think about the culture.
Yes.
But that song is lit.
I'm not even listening to it.
What? We're gonna listen to it after this. I promise you, it's gonna be lit.
So my turn, I guess. I'm just gonna have to give a shout out to Stoneboy, Beam Nation. So Stoneboy is a really good artist, and I like his grind. I heard he's in North Carolina now. He's in Cary. So his song Higher is really good. Check it out. Really good song. Innocent. I know what you're gonna say.
Stoneboy Shatawale.
Shatawale.
Shatawale for life.
That's a movement.
Check out Shatawale Freedom song on YouTube.
Freedom.
This is Shatawale's biggest fan
ever.
Right here.
I hope that Shatawale finds you innocent.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Shatawale soon.
That's good.
Wait, what's yours?
I was gonna do Jaden, but I can't find the name of the song, so I'm gonna go with Afrobeat since you guys are here. It's Me and You by this guy named Praise. I am in love with that song. That's
Me and You. All right.
So that's it, guys. Oh, 58 minutes.
We did it!
Really good.
Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, follow my Instagram. Sam, what's your Instagram?
Oh, yeah, and one last thing.
Do you have Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Innocent, what's your Instagram handle?
Bow Wow 20.
Bow Wow. Hey, my son Bow Wow.
And Sam, what's your...
One last thing. This is a Black Panther outfit.
Oh, okay.
Copy us now.
Okay.
For the culture. Instagram is Sam's Global.
Yes.
SAMS Global.
He has thirst traps for you ladies, so go ahead and follow him.
For promotion. Black business promotion.
Black business promotion.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
All right, boom. So what we gonna go out to today?
You gotta do Shatawale or... Because since Sam came in with the request... Was it your request that you came in?
It was
his
request.
All right, Sam. So what's your request for the
I
outro?
trust John. John
You trust
got
me?
it. Yeah. John got the
John, don't fuck it up.
God, oh my God, I'm so freaking
wait, hold on.
John got the tune.
I don't know what to do.
It's a lit African song.
A lit African song? Oh my God. I'm just gonna do one of the songs y'all requested.
Well, before you do the songs, thank you guys for coming.
Thank
we really
you. That was
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Always a pleasure. Hope to come back again.
Of course. Yeah.
And you guys actually motivating us to start our own thing too.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
African issues. I think we're gonna call it the village.
I love it.
Okay, so you guys have to have us again.
Yeah, no, seriously. I got you on the logo work.
I got you on the facts. All right, well, let's go higher.
Hey.
Hey.
And I promise I'm not always this sweaty. It's too hot in here.
Them the is about me, yeah. Them girls is about you too. Them the talk about me, yeah. If your body they want you, I gotta pray, make I go higher, I gotta know that it's so fire, I gotta pray, make I go